BlackRock is literally taking over Bitcoin. They are quickly becoming the largest Bitcoin holder, and they're on track to do so. And we're going to talk about what this means, when exactly it could happen, how much Bitcoin BlackRock is actually accumulating right now, because the numbers, quite frankly, are astounding. And we knew when BlackRock came to the table that they weren't going to come here to finish second or third or fourth. They're coming here to dominate the space. And I want to dive into the conversation holistically, talk a little bit about the good and the bad of this. And quite frankly, if you own Bitcoin right now, or you've owned Bitcoin before BlackRock, I think you're in a great spot. I think we're super early still to Bitcoin, both in this current cycle, in the total kind of outlook of Bitcoin, because we have a demand and a supply shock happening at the same time with Bitcoin. We've never had an asset like this ever that's experiencing both a demand and a supply shock at the same time. And we're also going to talk about the price of Bitcoin because it's not really moving on the news. Yes, BlackRock is taking over Bitcoin after their Bitcoin ETF had been approved. And the game has certainly changed, and BlackRock is in full control. But it doesn't really change our investment strategy, I don't think, in Bitcoin. So we're going to talk about that as well in this video. We'll start over here on the charts, just over here on CoinMarketCap. We can see here today Bitcoin at 42,400, pretty flat today. The market's been relatively flat. Not much of a decrease or increase. We're still sitting at a $1.67 trillion market cap here this morning. If we take a look at Fear and Greed Index, again, which kind of shows us where the market sentiment is, we're barely in the greed zone at 61, which is good because interest is starting to come back after the Bitcoin ETF. We're building back up. Of course, we were up there at 48, almost 49,000 about a week ago now. That's January 11th where that transpired. Okay, so we're a week removed. The market cooled off, but now we're consolidating. I think we're getting ready perhaps for another leg up on the Bitcoin price action. We do have a couple alts moving. Nothing too crazy here this morning, but couple altcoins up in the top 100 as well. So BlackRock recently made a new Bitcoin purchase. This just coming out this morning. And it brings their Bitcoin holdings to some astounding numbers considering BlackRock just got their spot Bitcoin ETF application approved. They recently just purchased approximately 10,000 more BTC. And this is an estimation of how much Bitcoin they now hold, which after the spot Bitcoin ETF, they now hold over 25,000 Bitcoin, which is estimated just slightly over $1 billion. This tweet was out here this morning as well from Crypto Rover. He shows that they've accumulated around 16,362 Bitcoin after just 4 days of trading. Just imagine how much they will accumulate by the end of this year. We're still early. And if we take a look at this chart right here, BlackRock and Fidelity are purchasing the most. Makes sense, right? Considering we think that these two will be the biggest spot Bitcoin ETF platforms where people are purchasing the most. So according to this data right here that we have, Fidelity at second place, over 12,000 Bitcoin accumulated. BlackRock at 16,000. I don't think Rover has this new purchase that takes us over 25,000 Bitcoin that is outlined right here. And that would take, obviously, the valuation over $1 billion. And again, keep in mind, this is just days of trading. We are literally just getting started, and we have $1 billion of Bitcoin being accumulated already by BlackRock. So what does this all mean? What does it mean for BlackRock? Are they set to become the largest Bitcoin holder? Is this a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Does it really matter? right? We know that BlackRock is the world's largest asset manager. So we knew that they were going to accumulate probably the most Bitcoin, now $1 billion already. And yes, they are on pace to become the largest holder. There's no doubt about it. They've already surpassed Tesla's number of Bitcoin accumulated. And they're the third largest Bitcoin stash right now among public companies. Obviously, number one right now, MicroStrategy. But at this pace, BlackRock could have more Bitcoin than any other single entity on Earth. And Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balkunas noted, just quote saying, it's going to happen. Now, the key difference here is that public Bitcoin holders like MicroStrategy, which, by the way, they have close to 200,000 Bitcoin, 200,000 to BlackRock's 25,000 right now, hold the crypto as a treasury reserve. While it's a little bit different for BlackRock, they're using Bitcoin as the basis of their ETF. They need to hold it in order to lend it out. So the product iShares Bitcoin Trust already showing significant growth, significant early trading volume. We saw $10 billion in trading volume just a few days in with the ETFs. If BlackRock were to continue accumulating Bitcoin at this pace, the crypto market would certainly see an impact. It hasn't made a huge impact on the price yet because it's just early. We're not going to have all people coming in at once, right? And we've had a lot of sell pressure from long-term holders. We've talked about that. But over time, this is going to make a huge impact. And keep in mind, only 900 BTC are issued daily, and this number is set to decrease with the halvening. And CEO Larry Fink from BlackRock has publicly decried Bitcoin. His public comments following the listing of the firm's spot ETF has signaled a complete change in attitude. We knew his attitude was shifting, dating back to last year. Last week, he praised Bitcoin as an asset that can protect investors. They even released a commercial for its spot Bitcoin ETF targeted at the boomer generation. So there's no doubt that BlackRock is coming to the table to be the largest Bitcoin. Now, does it have a real big impact on us? What does this mean? I don't think this means that much in the grand scheme of things. I just think it's bullish. Now, listen, you could still choose to hold your Bitcoin wherever you want. You don't have to buy into this ETF. I think OG Bitcoin people and crypto people are going to keep their crypto offline, cold storage. They're going to own their own keys. And I really think it's just a timing thing, right? I still think we're early right now. Now, if you look up 5 years from now, 6, 7 years from now, you're going to look back and say, man, BlackRock kind of ruined Bitcoin because it is going to become much more stable over time. But I still think we are within a window where we are very early to Bitcoin as a really solid asset to diversify your portfolio, even for the boomers who don't want to take a ton of risk. But people forget there are a number of people that are still like around my age in like their 30s and 40s that don't invest in Bitcoin yet. This is going to be a perfect asset class for those people. And the more the word gets out with financial advisors talking about Bitcoin, talking about the growth that it's seen in the last decade plus, we're going to see this slow trickle-down effect. And more people are going to be getting into the game. And Fidelity is going to be a big winner here too. There's probably going to be about 3 big winners. BlackRock and Fidelity, for me, on the ETF side, are golden. Who gets that third spot? I hope it's ARK, just because I like Cathie Wood. But eventually it's going to consolidate down. I don't think there's going to be 12 ETFs out there forever. Eventually it's going to probably consolidate down to probably 3 or 4 big winners here. And I think BlackRock and Fidelity are already super well positioned. But the moral of the story is people are going to be buying Bitcoin over these next several months. Slowly but surely, as we get closer to the halving, things are lining up perfectly. Things are lining up perfectly. And we've highlighted where we are kind of in the trajectory of Bitcoin's bull market very early. We see a run up in the 300 days leading up to the halving, but the biggest gains come after the halving. So if history repeats itself, we're just getting started, folks. So let's enjoy the ride together. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Appreciate each and every one of you. We'll see you in the next video.